Help me start a gaming business, guys. That's what I'm here to ask you. I don't know about you, but I believe that there are many paths in life. You can learn pretty much from anything. You can learn from going outside for a walk. You can learn by being the CEO of a company. You can learn from sitting at home with a controller in your hand or on your gaming chair in front of your PC screen. You can learn a tremendous amount that way, actually. And I think a lot of people have followed that path a lot. There's a lot of gamers out there, a lot of hardcore gamers, and I'm one of them. I'll admit I'm not as hardcore as I was in the past. Um, I guess I'm getting older now and getting a little bit less into it, but it's still my main hobby. It's still one of the things I look forward to. And I don't think of it as a waste of time in any respect. I think people who think any activity that engages your brain or your body is a waste of time is wrong. They're just wrong. Can they show you some objective data and say, hey, you're not engaging as intensely as you would be if you were, let's say, reading a chemistry textbook or something like that and taking notes and trying to remember? Maybe, but humans fool themselves with data and statistics, and they don't actually really even understand, honestly. It goes deeper than that. This is not something you can just explain with numbers. I really think our learning capacity is not limited to the activity that we're using to facilitate that learning, if that makes sense. I think there's a huge justification for gaming. I think there's a lot of negative sentiment for the wrong reasons, people not understanding. People tend to, if they don't understand something, I mean, you're most likely going to get negative feedback about something. You know, your friends, your girlfriend or boyfriend, your parents, whoever. You're most likely going to get judgment and criticality, and it's based on, hey, that's not the way I see the world. It's just silly. It's silly, and there's no reason to be spreading that kind of negativity. But that's humanity and that's human psychology. But the gist of what I'm saying is our hobby is more than a hobby. It's justified as a means to facilitate learning, just as reading a book, just as clocking in to your 8 to 5 job, even more so, because there is an endless amount of things we can do through games, and a lot of people get stuck in these 8 to 5 routines where they do the same thing every single day. Guess how much they're learning from that? No, all they're learning is to be dependent on their paycheck. I shouldn't say that. They're still learning. My point is, there's no way for us to really judge, how learning and growth happens. But what I'm trying to do is validate this principle, validate this gaming is not a waste of time principle. I'm trying to bring more pride into this hobby that we have. Maybe get more people to understand what we're doing, right? Thinking of a lot of different ways that could be done. Obviously, there's a lot of ambitious goals that could, ambitious ways to approach this, that would require a lot of resources. And I'm not against that. I think that's awesome. I think ambitious goals are like the best goals to have, honestly. But it also can be done from a smaller scale and then moved up to that ambitious scale, gradually. It could also be done that way. I've been thinking of ideas about different brands that could represent this principle that I'm talking about. Building a brand that stands for that principle and then makes products or facilitates services in accordance with that principle, and then kind of growing it on based on that and seeing how that goes, getting feedback. So main thing is getting feedback. I want to know what other people think, what other gamers think. I want to know, the main thing I want to know is, if you were to do this, if you were to start your own company, your gaming company, what is it? What is it that you would do? What is it that you want to do? What is your vision? What is the main thing driving you? What kind of product do you see? What kind of service do you see? I used to work in sales. Yeah, correct. That's interesting. You inferred that. I no longer am in sales. I actually just accepted an offer at Tesla. I'm in the Bay Area. I'm going to be working there. I'm not going to really mention doing what yet. The ink is fresh on that offer. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get, guys. That's what I'm trying to get to. So, Illidan, if you have ideas about gaming business, with the principle behind it being pride, justification for the hobby, explaining that we're not wasting our time, we're learning, especially in a competitive environment, we're learning so much about competition, about how to get through tough times, about how to keep yourself from going on tilt. I mean, all these things, it's a hardcore competition, competitive games are. And even single player, on hard mode and stuff like that. So, you don't know. All right, give me something to go with. What do you think? I want to know. Just throw anything at me. I'm curious. Seems like a pipe dream. Yeah, I think it's tough. Starting any company seems like a pipe dream, right? Doing anything hard seems super hard. Like, there's a Nelson Mandela quote that says something like, "It's only impossible until someone does it," right? Create the framework for some gaming company and pitch to investors. No, not necessarily. Not targeting investors. Actually, more so, yeah, grow organically, the latter. I think that will probably be more appropriate for me, because I don't want like I said, I just got a job at Tesla. Like, I'm gonna be busy during the day, and yeah, so a niche. So not necessarily viral, but if there's participation from the customer base, even to a small extent. So I'm kind of getting. So I'm kind of getting where you're coming from here. An idea doesn't have to be like, I don't have to build the next Steel series or NVIDIA graphics card. There's a lot of companies that are operating on a much smaller volume base that are very successful and can support, several people's income, right? And that's kind of where things start. You may not have heard of a lot of these. Like, I can give you some examples. Try to build an app that goes viral. Yeah, I mean, that's the only, not the only, but that's one of the chances for huge success for sure. But here, try this. Go to playeronecoffee.com. Playeronecoffee.com. This is probably a company you've never heard of. Like, look at this. They're selling coffee. Trump impeachment timer. Yeah, this is good. This is good ideas for sure. I mean, this is interactive. Apps are, there's a lot of resources that goes into that and everything like that. But what do you think about physical products that you can touch, see, and feel? I'm not talking about like taking it to the bank with millions of dollars and something like this. I'm talking about like shipping out, maybe just like getting 1,000 people to buy one of these. Like I'm thinking like maybe like a desk pad um, with a sick design on it, and then as the customer is buying this product for a very cheap price, let's say it's not something that's super marked up, they're kind of understanding that here's what the brand stands for. And here's what we want to do. We want to do more than this, but we're just starting out. And if you want to help us grow, this is awesome. You can be part of our journey. It's very niche, but I'm just talking about like a few hundred customers. I'm not talking about these kind of numbers from super famous companies that you know. Too niche, too niche. Maybe. Um, no, I mean, maybe eventually 100K plus, but I'm not. Yeah, you can turn anything to a business. Yeah, exactly, and find some customers. Yes. Uh, Find something that flows downhill. I like that. I actually really like that. I'm gonna write that. I'm gonna copy and paste that, and I'm going to put that in my notes. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Feedback like this. So, okay, let me ask you this then. It is a desk pad. It is a mouse pad. It is something gimmicky. It is something niche, but it's super cheap. Let's say it's priced at a third of a Steel Series, those $20 Steel Series desk pad. Let's say it's $5. Same quality, same look, everything to it. That's not pushing down uphill anymore, right? Because there's a clear value. What hasn't been rinsed 1,000 times? What hasn't been? Is there an idea that hasn't been? Mm, for gaming pads at Walmart, I mean, you're gonna see Razer, Steel Series. You're gonna see these names again. If you want, just like a basic one for like an office computer, then sure. But that's not gaming centric. I don't. Okay. Yes, it's hard to compete on volume, but there's other value add around products than just competing with big corporations. Because there's brands that you identify with more. Like, for example, why would you, why would you tell anyone ever to shop at like a high-end clothing store when an H&M is going to have a pretty much equivalent type of clothes for like a tenth of the price? Are you going to tell the luxury brands to be like, no, there's no way you can compete with that. There's already a million companies that do it 10 times cheaper and at a higher volume than you. But these kind of startups, luxury clothing startups, come up all the time. No, no, no. I'm not saying mouse pads are the key. No, it's an easy thing to start out with, right? Do you think there's something that could be started out with that's better than a mouse pad? Everyone wears clothes, but I don't think everyone cares about their clothes either. The goal is to build a successful gaming startup with the premise behind it, with the premise of inspiring people by providing them with a product or service that they can be proud of and call themselves a gamer with. Basically, it's to inspire people with gaming products. It's not a financial goal. Nothing like that. So let me give you an example of, okay, let's hear it. Let's hear your idea, dude. Yeah, like a cause-based thing, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Like, but how are you gonna tie cause-based to gaming? There's got to be a clear tie-in there. Like, you know, you can't say we're saving people's lives or like rescuing puppies or something. We got to be like, maybe we're helping maybe we're helping provide technology to people in countries that don't have access to that kind of technology. Maybe like someone who's never had a PC before, hey, every dollar that you spend, that contributes to an entry level PC in like, Uzbekistan or like a country where that stuff isn't available, and that gets someone interested in tech, and that gets someone interested in how a PC works and gaming and the whole thing. Mm. But how do you tie in helping the environment with a gaming business? Do you think that will resonate with gamers? Do you think gamers care about helping the environment, or do you think they care about how to be better gamers? Yeah, they care, but do people actually donate money? Do people actually do the steps? Dude, I see people like there's a recycling bin and then there's a regular trash can. I don't really see people around my age, younger people. I don't see them even making a trash decision based on the environment, really. Yeah, some certainly do, but are people really buying products because are they really putting their money into that? Mm, interesting, interesting. Okay, so let me ask you this then. You go on a website that has some kind of gaming products. It has the cause base helping the environment, and it has some products. Which one is what do you need to see first? What your eyes immediately go, "Oh shit, this is a sweet looking product," or your eyes go, "Oh, this is like a charity that has products that I can buy." Like which one? The hope is that people share it. Okay. 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 So then you are saying that the site should emphasize the cause first, and the product is supplemental to the cause. It's not the main thing. So it's not like the first thing you don't see is like a sick design on a dust pad. The first thing that you see is like, hey, we're helping the environment. Mm, 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 mm. I think it does help for sure, but I think the product, if the product is crap, dude, like if the product is not exciting to people, why don't people just donate to environmental causes and forget the whole like why do I need to buy anything? Why does there need to be a middleman, right? Like the product needs to be fleshed out. It needs to have a clear value added. Hey Weez, I'm on Twitch talking to someone right now.
I know, I saw that. That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I just wanted to make sure that we're not scheduled. I'm driving right now, but I saw that you talking to somebody.
Yeah, talking to some people. They have some good ideas, I feel. But yeah, join in whenever you can, if you can.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, dude.
Awesome, bro.
Later. Is that where people are getting, like, let's take a mouse pad, for example. Is that where people are getting it? Is from Walmart? Because we're talking about, again, we're talking about younger people, environmentally conscious. That's who we're targeting. If we're targeting someone that's already okay, let's hear your other idea. You got some good stuff, man. I appreciate it. I'm writing this stuff down as you're telling me. Okay, so yeah, what you're talking about, like people are doing this a lot with Alibaba and Amazon. They'll go on Alibaba, they put in a minimum order, they put it up on Amazon, and all they have is just an Amazon storefront, and it just generates money like that. So yeah, that definitely works for making some money here and there, but it's just not, it's not a gaming idea, right? I'm looking for something inspiring. I'm looking for something real. Like I liked your cause based thing with environment. You know, maybe it's a mouse pad that's made with a rubber material that is not that with a smokeless factory, one that uses like a rapid prototyping type of design, where you don't need to actually go to a rubber factory that burns all that smoke into the air. Dude, most people we're cynics as human beings, man. It's not a big deal. Everyone's cynical. It's shit's hard to do. Like it definitely is, but you just gotta keep thinking. keep thinking, keep failing, and then eventually something might work out and it might not. Who cares? But it's just our fucking life. We might as well try to do something. Otherwise, we're just sitting around and not doing anything, right? So try, fail, you know. I'll fall flat on my face with a mouse pad that nobody wants, and then people are ripping on me on social media. Whatever, I tried, right? It's better than not trying, dude. It's something to do at least. That's how I feel about it. And if you're doing something good, if it's for a good cause, or if it helps people feel better about their gaming setup, or makes them better at the game that they play, you know, that's even better. Hey, thanks, man. Your feedback was awesome. I really appreciate it, dude. Take care, and yeah, follow the Twitch. I just started this a couple days ago, so feel free to follow and come back, and we can talk more. Yeah, guys, but that's the main gist of what I'm talking about. Send me some ideas. Message me on here. I'll be logging on more often. I'll be streaming more often. I'll put some videos on YouTube. I'll try to reach as many people as I can.